Hey Wobble Gang, I do hope you are doing great. My name is Ollie. Hit that subscribe button if you love a good Reddit story. Alright, let's get into our first story of the day. Our first story of the day comes from Zesticlow's block 1332 in the True Off My Chest subreddit, and it says, "My girlfriend found out that I lied about me and my friends playing fantasy football. And I know I screwed up big time. I know it was wrong to lie to my girlfriend, and I probably should have just told her the truth. I lied because I didn't want to hurt her or upset her, but I realize it was still a lie. I've been playing fantasy football with some friends for years. We are all big sports fans, but football is the biggest. Last season, one of the guys dropped out of our fantasy league because he said it was taking up too much of his time, and he was afraid it was pushing him into a gambling problem. We needed another player, and my girlfriend watches football, so we asked her to play. I know I'm going to catch heat for saying this, but it wasn't as fun playing with her as I thought it would be. I don't know if it was beginner's luck or what, but she pretty much destroyed the rest of us all season. It wasn't fun losing to her. So this season, we just decided to tell her we weren't playing this year. I didn't want to at first, but the other guys insisted. We invited the new brother-in-law of one of the other guys to play instead. I just told her everyone was too busy to play this year, and she didn't question it. On Thursday night, we slipped up, and she found out we are still playing. She had to go to work, but she was pissed off. She's been frosty since she got home Friday morning. Next weekend, we are supposed to go to an out-of-state wedding. Her family isn't from Chicago, but now she said she wants to go by herself. I tried to explain, but it just made her mad. It's nothing personal. No one hates her or anything. I know I'm going to catch heat in the comments. Every time I try to explain, it makes it worse. I screwed up, and there's no way around it. But she's so upset, and I don't know what to do to make it better. I know I messed up." Oh, honestly, you couldn't make this up even if you tried. I mean, imagine bottling it because your girlfriend beats you at fantasy football. Narrative: man can't handle losing, so he resorts to deception. Let me just say this real quick. It's not only about the lie, but the blatant lack of sportsmanship. Here's where it gets even worse. Instead of owning up to your inadequacies, your solution was to conjure some elaborate fabrication to sideline her. How on earth did anyone think that was a clever idea? What were you expecting? Applause for sticking with the boys' club? You've dug yourself a hole so deep, it's positively subterranean. And now you're crying over how to patch it up? Good luck getting invited to any future league without tripping over your conscience. Anyone else cringing, or is it just me? Damn, mate, just damn. A Reddit user says, "Boo-hoo, little baby lost to a girl. You handled this terribly. You're just going to have to wait on how she wants to handle it." Someone says, "Wow, I've been in a fantasy football league for years, being the only girl, and the guys definitely don't cry and kick me out when they lose to me. You guys kicked her out because you guys lost to a girl." You lied to your partner for the sake of a fantasy football league that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Lying over something so small, she probably wonders what other things you are lying about. A Reddit user says, "Like, if this is even real, yeah, you screwed up. You shouldn't have kept playing fantasy football. When she found out the other guys were playing, you could have said, yeah, they said you couldn't play anymore, so I dropped out too. Now you can still say that. You can tell her it wasn't your decision, it was everybody else's. But by continuing to play, you backed up that decision, betraying her. Now you not only have the lie to deal with, but the betrayal of continuing to support the league that banned her for actually being better than the rest of you. That alone is pretty lame on their part. Would they have kicked a guy out that beat them all and won? Doubtful. You chose a bunch of misogynistic people over your woman, and now, one way or the other, you're going to pay a price. You tried to kick her out of your little boys' club, but now she is completely in control of your fate together. You could quit the league right now and leave the friends that urged you to betray her. but she could still leave you and leave you with nothing. Yeah, you really screwed this one up big time. Capitulate, leave the league, and beg for forgiveness is about all you've got. Good luck. A Reddit user says, "You definitely messed up. This won't even be about excluding her from something, but about how you were okay lying to her. The key to relationships is communication. My only suggestion for your current situation would be to take responsibility, own up to your actions, and apologize. Then sit down and have an honest conversation with her. Discuss why you did what you did and what you plan to do to ensure communication is honest going forward. If you're lucky and work for it, you'll be able to build up trust again." OP responds, "Yeah, I know you are right. I make no excuses. I realize I screwed up. Every time I try to explain, I make it worse. I did apologize, but she doesn't want to hear it right now. I understand why she's mad, and I don't make any excuses for lying or hiding it. I should have stuck to my principles when the other guys insisted." Months later, the OP comes with an update and says, "So, it's over. I know I messed up and the writing was on the wall. The worst part is that I have no excuses. I know how badly I messed this up. I'm not even looking for sympathy here. When my girlfriend got back from the wedding, she asked me why I lied to her. I didn't have any answer for her. All my explanations just made it worse and didn't really explain anything. I tried to apologize, but she didn't want to hear it. It was the worst week of my life. It was almost like she was freezing me out. At one point, she asked me if we ever talked about her in the group chat for our fantasy league. I didn't even have to answer. She just said, 'It's not nice, right?' And I think that was the turning point. I never want to see her cry, and the worst part is knowing I did this because I was stupid and didn't stand up to my friends. She said she doesn't think we are compatible and shouldn't date anymore. She didn't want to accept my apologies, and I understand, and I won't bother her now. She went to stay with her family for another week, and now I've heard she came back because of her job as a pharmacist, and now she's staying with friends. But I will leave her alone. I'm looking for another place to live because our lease is up at the end of the month. She left 2 weeks ago and it feels empty. And the worst part is, I know it's my fault. I barely care about watching football now, and normally I would be excited about it because my team is in first place. If you take anything away from my post, don't put your friends over the person you love. Learn to stand up to your friends. I learned my lesson after all this. A Reddit user says, "In the original post, he and his friends were upset because they lost to her last year when playing fantasy football. And because none of them are males, they all sulked and didn't want her to play this year. He kept it a secret, and she found out. He gets exactly what he deserves." A Reddit user says, "Wow, if my girlfriend was into football as much as I am, I would be ecstatic to have her in my fantasy league. And if she won the league, I would be so proud and happy for her." SSDD always says, "You still haven't taken accountability. In your original post, you stated that you didn't enjoy losing to your now ex, and then in this post, you are fully blaming your friends and claiming you just went along. Grow up, mate. Seriously. You messed up and acted like an insecure, misogynistic asshole." Our next story comes from a throwaway account in the Relationship Advice subreddit, and it says, "My girlfriend, 19 female, wants me, 19 male, to stop editing videos for female clients. My brother is an influencer. He also has a lot of friends who are in that business. I edit videos for him and a few of his friends. It is not a full-time gig, and I don't make a lot of money, but it is fun, and I enjoy working with them. By now, I have a very good relationship with them and can interpret their wants and vision correctly, so I rarely have to make major changes to my drafts. It is a pretty good gig while in college, as it helps me relax. My girlfriend of 6 months recently came over while I was working and saw that some of the shots featured women styling clothes. Yesterday, she called me and told me that she felt uncomfortable with me working with female clients if I was editing videos like that. I refused, and she said that I was being a creep who wouldn't get a real job, which was pretty hurtful. She isn't like this usually. I don't understand what I should do here. I like my clients. They are very chill people who don't make a lot of demands. I think I shouldn't dismiss her feelings. To summarize, I edit videos while in college. My girlfriend thinks I should drop it. She said some hurtful things. I don't know where I should go from here. A Reddit user says, "You should break up with your girlfriend. Instead of having a mature conversation with you about how she is feeling insecure, she insults you. You are 6 months in. Cut your losses and end it." A Reddit user says, "Jesus, no, don't stop just because she says so. 6 months in and she is stopping you from working with women. If you're not careful, this will ramp up and you won't be able to speak to or look at another woman. You are doing nothing wrong. She, on the other hand, is being very controlling." Months later, on December 30th, the OP returns with an update on the situation, and he shares, "I should have listened to the subreddit. I knew I had to break up with her, but I was too much of a coward to do it quickly, and she destroyed my editing setup. It really messed me up, but on the plus side, her dad paid me enough money that I could buy a great setup. I was pretty scared for a while and stopped accepting jobs. One of my clients called me up to check if I was okay, and we ended up having a long conversation and haven't stopped talking since that day. We started dating about 2 months ago. She also has a similar experience with a jealous ex who hated that she was an influencer. This relationship feels way more solid and open than the last one. We are doing great, and I am seriously considering making a career as an editor, but that seems a bit scary. Too long didn't read. Broke up with her after she destroyed my setup. I was a bit messed up for a while, but I started dating someone much kinder than my ex." A Reddit user says, "Glad it worked out. A good way to end the year." You know what blows my mind? Life just keeps spinning in the most unpredictable ways. Seriously, you end one messy chapter and, bam, you connect with someone who gets you like never before. And it's crazy because, on top of the chaos, a whole new direction opens up. It's unreal how turning points sneak up on you through sheer madness. So if you're still hanging on to this roller coaster, let this be your cue to join the chaos train. Drop your thoughts, your own twist of fate stories. You know you want to vent. Who doesn't? And don't stop there. Go check out my other videos because life is full of more baffling tales where this one came from. Seriously, leave a like or comment below or something. Let's make sense, or nonsense, of it together. See you there, and don't be shy to hit that subscribe button for more upheaval and outrageous rants. Cheers!